Okay, guys, this is starting now. Before starting the session, how many of you know already Docker and Kubernetes? That would be easy for me to teach you. Yeah. Do we have such people who have already knowledge on Docker and Kubernetes? Hmm? All of you fresher? Yeah.
Hey Anish, I have knowledge on Docker, but not in Kubernetes.
Okay. What about others? What about others?
Yeah, I
Okay.
have both Docker and Kubernetes knowledge.
Okay. Okay. Okay, so we can say that we are having a few of the people who is having knowledge of Docker and Kubernetes, and we will be starting Docker and Kubernetes from the scratch, from the very basic to advanced level. We will be starting, and as if now I'm assuming that all of you are new or beginner of Docker and Kubernetes. So I'm having course content with me too, so in that course content, what all things that we are going to cover, that I will be showing you now only. And this is the training session where we will be doing all of the thing 100% practical. Okay. Theory will be there obviously, but not that much related to the topic. Only we will be covering theories, and the examples that we will be implementing here, that will be related to day-to-day activity or task that you might be doing, or you already if you are in project. So similar thing that we will be implementing here from basic to advanced. So why to join training with Visualpath, right? So the thing is that we are having training session for, it will be very useful for working professionals, or if you are planning to move to DevOps, or you are already into DevOps and working for Docker Kubernetes. So we will be doing this whole thing practically here, and the advantage of doing this course is, it's a mix up of two certifications. Okay, it's a mix up of two certification. First one is CKA and then CKAD. Both certifications content are mixed up here. Okay, so that it will be easy to go with it. Once we are starting the session, then you can decide which path or which certification you need to choose. For an example, if few of you might be from infra side, few of you might be having knowledge and experience on AWS or any cloud, plus somehow Kubernetes, you'll be getting it. Then you can decide it the path. Okay, if you are infra side, you are creating infrastructure on AWS, even using Terraform, that will be really a good thing. Then you can go with CKA, Certified Kubernetes Administrator. If you are a developer, you are developing the application and you want to know, or you want to learn application deployment in Kubernetes clusters, then you can go for CKAD. It's totally up to you which is your path that you need to define. Okay, that you need to choose basically, right? For CKAD or CKA. And my personal suggestion for all of you is that CKA is having more advantages as compared to CKAD. Okay, so even if you're a developer, try to do CKA. And we will be talking about a certification as well, like who is arranging the certification, how to prepare for it, and how to attend it. Everything will be discussed here. Before that, a quick introduction about me, and then I will be showing you the course content. So guys, my name is Anish Ansari. I'm having 10 plus years of experience. Working experience I'm talking about. From last few years, I'm into this training thing. This is my part-time thing. I'm just training people on Docker and Kubernetes. Few days back, I used to teach people in DevOps too, but I got expertise in Docker Kubernetes, so I'm teaching Docker Kubernetes, right? And I trained more than 1,000 people in Docker and Kubernetes, 𝐃𝐨𝐜𝐤𝐞𝐫. Not only batches like this, but I train people in working in corporate companies by visiting to corporate brands like Intel, Oracle, HCL, big brands. Most of them I covered. Actually, I worked for them uh, by doing online training or on campuses. Now, see here, that was all about my thing. That was all about me. And now we'll be talking about Kubernetes, Docker Kubernetes course content. So guys, we will be starting from Docker very first of all. We are having Docker that to discuss a lot of things there. So basically, what exactly Docker is, and differences between bare metal, virtual machine, and containerization. After that, what type of container tools are available with us, as if now Alex is removed. Instead of this, we're talking about Podman and Docker installation. We will be doing this on EC2 instance, and it is good to have cloud knowledge. That's perfectly fine, well and good. And if it is required to implement practicals, we'll be doing it on AWS cloud very first of all. And the second thing is that if you are looking for free solution where you no need to pay any amount, even if you are creating AWS free tier account, very high possibilities are there that you will be going to get bills or charges, right? To avoid that, we are having VirtualBox, Oracle VirtualBox, that will be freely available for everybody. You can download it and we can create virtual machines and we can use it. So both options we are having. So my suggestion, go with the virtual box. That will be with you for always, right? And after that, we will be learning about a basic introduction of Docker engine, what exactly it is, like how to check versions, how it works, it contains daemon or server in it or client, what exactly Docker architecture is. After that, we'll be learning about registries, how images are getting stored on registries, what type of registries we have, and how to create containers by using Docker images, how to build Docker images, right? Some theoretical part of UFS, C group, right? How these components are allowing you to um, create containers. After that, container management, how what exactly layers are, image pull push, registries, exactly what it is, Docker networking, what type of network do we have, and what type of volumes we have with us in Docker to process the data, and taking backup of containers. This is the part of Docker Swarm. We can cover it over there. How to write a Docker file, what all the instructions that we are using here. We will be learning them in a very advanced, or from basic to advanced level. All the most of the tags or instructions that is used in Docker file will be covered over here. And Docker Swarm also will be covered here. Docker Swarm and Swarm cluster creation. We will not be diving very deep into Docker Swarm just for knowledge. We will be learning Docker Swarm. The reason behind that no any company these days is using Docker Swarm, like no use of this Docker Swarm, but for an idea we will be learning it, right? And after that, YAML concept. YAML is required if you already know Ansible, or you're already writing playbooks or something else, YAML configurations. So it will be very good, or it's a good to have. If you don't know, then once Kubernetes is started, there I will be telling you, because in Kubernetes each and every deployment will be created by using YAMLs only, right? So that's we will be looking deep dive into Kubernetes architecture, what all components that Kubernetes contains, right? To make your cluster up and running, like kube API server, kube scheduler, core DNS, etcd, kubelet. And in Kubernetes something came these days, container D and cryo. So instead of Docker, it's also containerization platforms. So Docker dropped direct support to Docker. Sorry, Kubernetes dropped direct support to the Docker. Previously, it directly used to support from version 1.23. It dropped it. So now it started supporting a containerd, cryo, and podman, and another type of containerization tool. What exactly it is, how it works, that also will be covered. And if you are having, our major focus is on Docker because we'll be writing Docker file. That is very important to containerize your application, take it to the Kubernetes. And if you're working in such an environment where containerd or cryo is, that how to deal with it, how to read the log, how to check the containers, those things will also covered. And we will be creating a container by using, sorry, we will be creating cluster by using cryo. That will be a very important part because these days most of the companies, if they are running with latest version of Kubernetes 25, version 25 1.25 or 26 or 27, definitely 100% they might have containerd or cryo. It's optional. So kubelet, kubeproxy, what exactly it is, master node, what is worker node, right? And what is managed Kubernetes service, how it works, those things will also be discussed here, right? So whenever guys we are talking about managed Kubernetes service, so what exactly this managed Kubernetes service is provided by cloud providers. So basically you might be hearing that we are having AKS, EKS, AWS is having EKS. What is this EKS? Elastic Kubernetes Service, right? Azure is having AKS, right? Again, the new thing, okay? And GCP. This is GCP is nothing but Google Cloud. It is having GKE. What is that? GKE, Google Cloud Engine. So, sorry, not Google Cloud. In Kubernetes, Google Kubernetes Engine. So basically, it is. So these all type of services are called managed services, where your cloud provider will be taking care of the Kubernetes part, means master nodes management, or taken care by your cloud provider. Okay, so what difference that we will be seeing with us and our course content. So see that here what will happen guys, basically. So whenever it comes to Kubernetes cluster management, so Kubernetes cluster management or cluster creation up will be the different thing as compared to our Kubernetes cluster, like our Kubernetes, like whatever we are going to cover here, that will be the core object of Kubernetes, like deployment, a pod creation, config map, secret, daemon set, stateful set, right? There are many objects. So it doesn't matter that whichever cloud that you guys are using, right? Whatever you are using here, whatever cloud or whatever this options cloud manage Kubernetes that you are having, whichever you are going with, that it doesn't matter. It will be 100% same as it is that whatever going to learn, right? If you want to go with AWS, Azure, or GCP Kubernetes, then you should have already knowledge and experience about AWS, Azure, or GCP, whatever that you want to go with that, right? So then only you will be able to manage it, because how you will be implementing RBAC and cluster backup and all. This will be the different. Only the thing you will be finding is different for each of this cloud is cluster creation and management, and what is that, RBAC. These things will be the different. Rest of the thing will 100% as it is, that whatever we are going to learn in our course content, right? Majorly, as I told, as I discussed, as I already said, that this course is focused for two certification called 𝐶𝐾AD and then 𝐶𝐾A. Correct? So in this examination, they will be asking you cube ADM cluster. Okay, cube ADM cluster. So guys, we will be creating cube ADM cluster only here. If you guys are having AWS account or GCP or Azure or something, you can share it with me. It's credential. I can demonstrate in front of you how to create the cluster. in these accounts. That is optional thing, that is not mandatory, but QADM is the cluster that we'll be looking into it, because that is our focus for CKCKD, right? For examination, for mainly on Kubernetes component that we want to focus, right? So now here we are having few of the Kubernetes objects that we can create. So guys, very first of all, pod, what exactly pod is, how to keep containers in it, pod with single container, with multiple container, sidecar implementation, kind of thing that we will be learning here. And what exactly pod is, how to create container, how to keep container in it, how to log in inside the container, how to read the log, how to troubleshoot it, what is the life cycle of the pod, right? What exactly type of pods we have, what is static pod, what is init containers that we are having with us, right? And how to allocate some amount of resources like CPU and memory to my containers. See, I'm talking about pod, but I'm allocating resources to the containers. This thing is like, you can, or it works like that way only. You can, limit the memory and CPU usage on the container, not the pod level. Okay, that we will be learning once we started doing practical. Then you will be having very good understanding about that. Then we are having a replication controller, and we are having a replica set. So the pod, this object that will be helping us to create the pod, but our end goal is just to achieve highly availability. We cannot achieve highly availability while creating a single pod. That's not possible. So to achieve highly availability, we'll have to create a multiple replicas of our application pod within the cluster. Then how to create multiple replicas of our pod, and always we need to make sure that defined number of replicas should up and running in Kubernetes cluster. How we can do that? So here we are having replication controller and the replica set, these objects, and one more deployment that will be helping us to make sure that defined number of replicas should always be present in our Kubernetes cluster, right? So these three things will be covered here. These are really very important that we need to know for interview plus exam perspective. you know Again, another object that we are having here is called a daemon set. It's kind of a very very important thing, again, for a logging monitoring kind of application. If you are having, how to deploy such application while using an object called daemon set, what exactly it is, how it works, and the what are benefits that we will be going to get in daemon set as compared to deployment, why it is better, when to use deployment, when to use daemon set. That will be covered in detail, right? And stateful set is again another object. Stateful set is like, most of the interviews are focused on a stateful set after deployment. This is the largest or the second largest topic that interviewer will be focusing. Okay, what exactly it is, when to use it. You can create another type of clusters within Kubernetes clusters while using stateful set. There's a use of it actually, by to get a static name for your pods, and to attach volume template in it, so that whenever you are doing auto scaling, so that it will be attaching volume in newly created pod, right? So those things will be there in a stateful set. After that, guys, we are having volumes, right? What is persistent volume, what type of volumes are available in Kubernetes, like, empty directory, host path, ephemeral volumes. Basically, empty directory is just for the pod only. Once pod is deleted, empty directory will be deleted, right? What exactly it is, host path volume is what, storage class, what exactly it is. And like, we will be discussing about NFS, EBS theoretically, these two type of volume. And apart from this, EBS type of volumes will be covered practically by using storage classes. Okay, PVC, what exactly it is, that will be discussed too in our session. And what type of services that we have available in Kubernetes, and what is the use of them, like load balancer, cluster IP, node port, this type of services will be discussed practically here, right? And after that, guys, a secret and config map. What exactly secret is, how you will be managing your secrets in Kubernetes, like centralized secret, centralized configuration, a common configuration I want to create for my application. That configuration can be used by multiple deployments. Okay. And what all forms that we are having, like environment variable, how to use secret and common configurations in environment variable, in volumes, in certificates, right? So those things will be covered here. So secret in volume, secret in environment, config map in environment variable, config map in volume. This is the major important things. This is the main focused topics on interview, right? After that, what exactly ingress controllers we have, we will be learning about nginx ingress controller, how your application is accessible from outside of the cluster while using a domain name like facebook.com, visualpath.com, something like that. Okay. So how it is focused, that will be also covered here. HPA should be written above. So basically, it's a part of horizontal part order scaling, is a part of deployment. So how auto scaling works in Kubernetes, how, what is the importance of HPA in Kubernetes with deployment, that will be covered here. And the major topic here is called scheduling. This is something very, very important part, scheduling, because how pods are getting scheduled in Kubernetes cluster while you are having multiple nodes, not only one or two. You might be having 10 nodes, 15, 20 nodes. If you want to send your pods in specific type of node, you want to mark them, how my pods will be going into a particular type of node or a particular node only. So the methods of scheduling will be covered here, like node name, node selector, pod affinity, anti-affinity, node affinity, anti-affinity, taint and tolerations will be covered over here. After that, we are having health checks of your containers, readiness, liveness probes, that we will be covering over here. How to check health, what type of probes that we have to check the health of your containers, right? That will be covered here. What is job and cron job and network policy implementation while using Calico, VNet, something, a network plugin which supports network policy implementation. We will be running that too here. And finally, guys, RBAC comes into the picture. It comes into the picture. Role-based control access, where if let's say I'm running or administering a cluster where I'm having around a team running with me, 4 5 people or 10 people, it totally depends. Few of them might be having permission to see particular objects, few of them having permission to create, update, delete operation they can perform on particular objects. So how to implement it, what exactly role binding is, cluster role binding is, how to add a user in cluster on kubeadm, and how to give it particular permissions, right? So even you were working in somehow in cloud Kubernetes environment, then your job will be just to add that user in cluster and just give them access. That also I will be telling you that how you can check it out, right? We are having a GUI as well in Kubernetes. We will be learning about a dashboard. We're deploying dashboard application in the cluster, and we'll be listing that. We will be seeing that our objects are running in cluster are visualized on the dashboard. That also the thing. etcd backup and Kubernetes cluster upgrade from one version to another version. Not 1.20, this older version we will be doing 1.25 or 24 something, another versions, not these versions. This few things needs to be updated on this document basically. And finally, we will be looking into Helm chart, how to Helmify your application YAML files, how to convert them into chart, how to host them in a chart repository, what exactly Helm chart is, how to set up it, how to deploy rolling update, rollbacks using Helm chart also will be covered. And after that, a quick introduction about GitOps, Argo CD will be covered. That's it, guys, from my side. If you guys are having any question queries by related to this course content, please ask me now. Yeah. Yes, guys.
Yeah, thanks for walking through the course contents. So the question is like normally the Docker and Kubernetes, these are being generally used in the container where application are being used for microservices and things like that.
Uh-huh.
So the duration of this course is like, what is the duration of this course? And
Perfect, guys. So duration is around 30 to 40 hours. It depends, basically 1.5 hours, 1.5 hour per day we will be doing the training session, because you can see the length of the course. It's very big actually. It's not the small. So 1.5 hours we'll be doing daily. So I believe that it will be completed in 30 days. Sometimes I'm not available, I'm in busy in meetings, I'm just shift. So it never happens always, but another 10 hours I'm taking it as a backup. Guys, give me a second, huh? Give me a second. Yes, guys, I'm back. So yep. So that is all about course content and the duration of the course. Morning 8 to 9:30 we will be doing that. So yeah.
okay,
So anybody else wants to know, or any question queries related to the course content or something? Yeah,
so
you
this
can
will
ask.
be online only, right?
Yeah, it is online only, and I will make sure that all of you should interact with me and my suggestions. I'm giving you few of the tips. Whatever topics that I'm covering on daily basis, it's very small sessions, not very lengthy. So what you'll have to do is, after session, in another you'll be having another time, anytime. What you can do is, whatever thing that I'm practically implementing here, just try to repeat the same on your machine. Okay. So why to do this, why it is important actually, what is the importance of repeating task by your own? It's like once you are repeating it by your own, you will be knowing the concept, you will be having very good understanding about the topic, and I believe you, all of you, should be able to do the task. And if you are failing to perform the task, what all you will have to do, guys, is simply, it's very simple. You can reach me out through the WhatsApp group. We will be creating WhatsApp group whenever you need any kind of help, like out of the training session. Let's say noon or evening or night, you are practicing it and you are getting error, then how that error will be resolved. So guys, the thing is that as per my availability, I will be replying you on WhatsApp group, and I'll try to solve it out your situation, the errors. If I'm in meeting, I'm in call, I'm outside somewhere, so it might be the delay, but not a very long delay you can expect there. If you still that error is not getting fixed up on the WhatsApp thing, so next day on the training session, I will be helping out to resolve the issue. So that is the thing. Support from us will be there always during the trainings. And yeah, guys. what you should do is whatever, like, you are sending your contact details to administrator, so keep it personally, to Visualpath, not to the everyone. Actually, I can see that you are submitting your mails and all, so please submit your contact details to the Visualpath here and personally to them, not for everyone, right? So that is the main thing, guys, that is required, that we will be doing it. And one main requirement is that I will make sure that this session should be very interactive. You all will have to involve into the practicals. Okay. And the main thing is here is another main thing is, like, don't think or don't keep things aside, that okay, today Anish covered this topic, I'll do it tomorrow again. Anish and like, me again will be adding few more content, right? Day to day content will be getting collected for you. If you are keep pending your practice, that I'll do it in tomorrow, day after tomorrow, this weekend, that weekend, trust me, guys, end of the session you will be seeing that you are having lots of things to cover, and batch is completed. There will be problem for you, so don't go in such trouble. Slowly, small topics we will be looking into from the few, like, starting days. Once we are covering the basics, then advanced topics will be coming into the picture, that you'll have to take care also, right? For the best practice, because end of the session I want all of you to have very good understanding and knowledge on Kubernetes. Yeah. Yeah, guys, shall we start? Or if you are having question queries, that also we can discuss over here. No question queries? Always, I want to hear something from you. Yes, no, nothing, something like that, right? So, guys, let's start with Docker now. What exactly Docker is? Today onwards we are starting with Docker. So, guys, assume that you are a developer. You know, you want to develop one application, a web-based application, a website. Simply, you want to create. So, what all things are required to create that web application? Anybody can suggest me what all things are required to develop a simple website? Do we have developers here, guys? Do we have developers here with us in training session? Anybody? Any developer?
So fundamentally, we need that OS and the programming language
Correct.
and the
Fundamentally, we
environment.
need, correct. First of all we need a laptop. On top of laptop, some of the operating system will be there. I'm just, you can see on my slide, we are having Ubuntu, and then we will be installing our compiler and then web server, and we will be started creating configuration files like HTML, CSS, or PHP, and then our application, we can develop it, right? We can just make up and running that application in our local environment. If we want to make alive this application on internet, then again we need a server with operating system, again the compiler, web server. Similar configuration is required on that web server, and we can make it live that application, right? Anybody can access it if my application is available on the server on the internet, basically from any place people can access it. So, this is how very small level of organizations or very small companies work. They are hiring developer, they are developing their application, they are just, keeping their website on server by their own. Very few very small companies are doing this thing, right? But whenever we are talking about enterprise level of application, how enterprise level of applications are being developed here, right? How enterprise level of applications are being developed. So very first of all, we will be having multiple developers team with us, right, to develop particular application. Each of the developer will be writing code. If you are using microservices, so they different team will be working on different modules. Let's forget about that. As if now we are taking example of one of the development team. Let's say this is the guy, is a developer guy who is developing some of the code. Once code development is done, what he will be doing is he will be pushing his code to Git or SVN, centralized code repository. Code will be pushed. Now, let's say this guy will have to deploy his application on some of the environment. Like we can assume it any environment, right? A prod, QA, UAT, or whatever it is. So what he will be doing? Will he be going directly to deploy it? No, because enterprise level of application deployment is not like that. There will be the different team, different people who is responsible to deploy your code and management it on the server. Now, once code is pushed, this guy will be like informing to DevOps guy or dropping mail or creating Jira ticket, something like saying that okay, hey, I push this code into the code repository. You can deploy it into your respective environment. Let's say this guy is deploying it into dev environment somehow. So what he will be doing is, I'm talking about manual deployment, not Jenkins and all. Okay, just manual thing. So what he will be doing is he will be pulling the code and he will be deploying it into the dev environment, for an example. Now guys, see that now things is starting from here. This guy deployed the code in his environment and he started seeing some of the bugs. That code is not working, right? This code is not working somehow. So what this guy will do? What should be the idea behind this? Obviously he will be talking to this developer guy saying that I'm getting error. He will not be started doing code fixing, right? He will not be going to fix the code to resolve the errors. He'll be talking back to the developer saying that, bro, your code is it's a buggy code, it is having errors, and he might be updating him on the Teams or Jira ticket update, or somehow he might be calling. It depends, like multiple way of communication we are having. Now this developer guy, what he will be doing is he will be saying that, okay, that code is working on my personal laptop, I checked it, but I don't know why it is not working in your environment. He might be asking error and all. So finally they will be communicating, and they will be trying to schedule a meeting conf call to fix this issue. Let's say they spend a lot of time. This time this developer guy is not available in office, he's somewhere else, he left. He will be coming back by this date or day, or we don't know, right, when he will be back, but he will have to one day back. So once these guys are going to fix that error together, they will be spending a lot of time, and finally these guys are getting to know that this developer did some of the mistake. Even after giving him manual what all version of the compiler needs to be used, but he didn't care about that, and he installed latest version of PHP somehow. And he wrote the code according to this version, and in our environment we are having older version like 6.0 is available there, right? So version, compiler version is getting mismatched. That might be, or that is the reason for getting bugs and errors. So guys, finally these guys are getting to know that, okay, here is the culprit, here is the issue of a version mismatch. So what action these guys should take? This DevOps guy mainly. So is it a good thing to update this version from 6.0 to 7.0, or telling back to developer saying that, bro, just downgrade your compiler version to 6.0, that whatever we are having on our cluster, on our environment, so write code or fix the issue according to that particular version? Which is the best practice? What do you think, guys? Yep, expecting answers from your side. Yes, any
See,
suggestion? Do you have any volunteer here? Yeah.
fundamentally, the environments, whatever the lower environment and upper environments, should have the same kind of configurations. Uh,
Uh-huh.
that is one rule we need to set it up. And because otherwise, you may not get the issue in the lower environment, but in the higher environments, you may get the errors, these kind of errors. So the dependencies and everything has to be in sync in both the lower and higher environments.
Okay, that's one thing. And what about this? Mm-hmm. Okay, let me tell you. So, guys, what happens is we we should not update anything in our environments. Here's the catch. Why? Because there is possibility that in your environment, whether it is lower environment, you might be having lots of applications are running in that particular environment based on this version 6.0. If you are updating this version in your lower even environment, so those applications will be disturbed, those applications will be started getting errors, right? So guys, give me a minute only, give me a minute only. Yeah, yeah. So see that here. If you are updating this version on your environment, there's very not possibility, we can say there's surety that lot of applications are running based on this version. So all those application will be disturbed, because whenever a new version is getting updated, or whenever a new version comes into the picture, so there is lots of feature functionality might be deprecated or removed. If unluckily those applications are using those feature functionality which is deprecated or removed, those will not be working. It's really not a good practice to update anything in your environment. So guys, before updating any application or any compiler or any even OS, or your web server upgradation happens, or you're planning, so you need to plan the upgrade even in lower environment as per the requirement only, that you can go with a specific versions. There are a lot of meetings will be there, and you need to follow lots of steps there. So instead of going there, so just come back to the session, and here this DevOps guy will be informing to the developer saying that, brother, just downgrade this version, and you are already having documentation before writing the code. Where is that? Just read all this carefully, and write the code according to PHP version 6.0. And again, nobody knows, right? Like if it is the small errors, small things that this guy is getting, he can fix up that issue within few minutes or hours. If it's a big code that he developed, right, so there is very high possibility that it might be taking 1 day, 2 day, 1 week, 1 month, nobody knows, right? So again, here that we were facing issue or challenges to build the code. We were previously, before containerization, we were not be having solution to go with that particular code whatever we created. There was no any option, right? Now assume that I'm having one of the application with me. This is the one scenario that I discussed. This was the issue we were facing before the Docker. And one more issue that we were facing before the Docker is that if my application, uh, sorry, yes, Murli, saying something?
Sorry, background noise.
Okay, okay. Okay, so see that here, this was the one issue that we were facing, and the second one that we were facing before Docker was that, if I want to run, or I want to utilize a feature of functionality which is available in only on this compiler version called 7.0 in my environment. So this was a big challenge, that we cannot use it because this PHP compiler is installed on the machine, and to run multiple compiler on the same machine is a big challenge. For managing and upgrading and all, you'll have to do a lot of tricks and tweaks that is not allowed in our environment. So to solve this kind of issue, Docker came into the existence. Okay, to Docker came into the existence, and how Docker is solving this all issue. So previously, guys, we seen that our compiler and web server were installed directly in our machines, directly in our environment. Now Docker came into existence, and Docker is saying that you no need to install your compiler or your application directly on host machine. What all you'll have to do is install Docker engine on the machine, and then you can create a container on top of Docker. Okay, so how this container will work? So if you observe that each and everything here is it's a wrapped up, it's a package, actually, it's a plug and play thing, which your container contains operating system, your container can contain your compiler, web server, application, all of this thing wrapped together. And it doesn't matter that one version of PHP is one version of compiler is having 7.0, version one is having 6.0, or this is having more older version or more latest version. It doesn't matter. It will never be gonna conflict anything. Okay, how these containers are getting created, why these versions are not conflicting. Even can you see that each and every container that we are here, we are seeing on this diagram of Apache. So we are having three web servers running at a same time in the single machine. How it come possible? Not only Apache, you can create container of Tomcat or Nginx or for Node application or Java application. It doesn't matter. Everything will be wrapped up inside the container. Nothing is being installed on your host machine. If you want to run, let's take an example here. Let's say I'm having one of the virtual machine with me. This is a virtual machine, right? Let's draw this here. This is one of my server. It could have some of the IP address, dummy value I can use here, 192.168.1.20 something. Now guys, assume that here in this server, I'm already having installed Apache HTTPD.
Anish, Anuj this
Apache.
side.
Yes, Anuj.
Sorry to interrupting in between. Actually, I joined little late.
Okay.
So might be like you answered the questions, but I have one doubt. So if you allow me, then can I ask here?
Yeah, sure. You can.
Yeah, actually, I don't have any prior experience of the coding, the application part, though uh, I'm having experience more than 10 years in IT,
Uh-huh.
but not in the same field. I'm basically taking care of the cloud and the Unix as well
Oh,
as the couple of other things, but not in a application and directly in a coding. So I don't have
okay.
any kind of knowledge regarding that. So how is it relevant and how much time it will take to me to grab the things as well as like you know these kind of things like hope you understand like what mean
Definitely,
my mean.
definitely, definitely. I'll guide you in that too. So, Anuj, as you told me that you are having knowledge and experience on cloud side, right?
Yeah, basically, see here I'm handling the cloud. Basically, you can say like cloud
Mhm.
architect as well as
Okay,
as well as like in my previous experiences, I have taken care of the Unix stuff where like
okay.
I was handling the
Mhm.
Linux server as well as AIX and
Okay.
the storage part. These kind of experiences like I have, but
So,
uh, I
architect
don't.
side, what all things that you did? Architect side, cloud architect side, what all
Architecture,
things?
like I have created the virtual
Environments.
machines there. Yeah,
Mhm.
the virtual machines there, environment, some kind of network configurations, as well as like I have provided the solutions, uh, and uh, you know, a couple of other things like creating a VPC and sort of
Definitely.
network storage
Which
part.
cloud you
So
used? I believe AWS.
basically, see, we are on a IBM cloud, and
Okay.
yeah, I got a hands-on experience on Azure as well. Yeah,
Okay.
little bit on AWS because recently we have created a
No worries.
5 servers there,
Mhm.
but not that much in AWS. But no, though the if you know the scenario, so that will not take much time to grab the things right.
Sure.
So
So now, see that. Let me, describe the things here. As you told me that you are already having experience on architect side, creation of VPC or VM creation on demand might be right. So
mhm.
you might be getting some of the requests like this. Create some of the tickets you might be getting like this. Create a instance and install particular software on that. Am I right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right. Correct. So similar kind of things we are having here. You no need to go and start learning about coding or programming and all. What all
Mhm.
things is required here is that let's say somehow somebody is telling that containerized PHP based application. Then you need to know how Hello World program work in PHP. How to install Apache, what is the Apache named in particular versions. In Ubuntu, Apache is having named called Apache 2. In RHEL,
Yeah,
it is
true,
called
true,
as
true, 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 true,
that we need to know,
true,
right?
true,
And we need
true,
to
true.
know how to install a PHP, and Hello World program needs to be up and running. That you need to know first. If it is
Mhm.
Java based application, then you need to know about Tomcat, how to install Tomcat, and how you will be copying code from GitHub or artifact from GitHub to that particular instance. That it is obvious that once you are getting such tasks, so this is the way, right? Now we are here in containerization. We are learning about containerization, so we will be seeing that in like in our session what exactly containerization is. We are having detailed discussion about comparison in between virtualization, what exactly virtualization is,
Mhm.
what exactly
But I,
containerization is.
but I know the layers of the virtualization, like the hardware and the hypervisor, then operating systems. That I
Correct,
know. So that
correct.
I have a huge experience in virtualization as well. So I have used the Power VM tools, VIOs for AX. So
So
that is not a big deal. But my main question is and concern is like
uh,
you know the application experience as well as that coding, programming, as well as I'm not that much good in a shell scripting too.
no, we
So
are not having shell scripting in our session.
mhm,
All we are having is YAML. We're
mhm.
writing YAML files to deploy the application. YAML is not a
So
programming language. It's just an language, or we can say that, yeah, language only, to create deployment configurations, key value pairs, list,
so any
dictionary,
prior
those things.
knowledge on Ansible is also regarding
No,
needed.
no.
Okay.
Only things is required to good to have is somehow knowledge of Linux OS. This will be very good. It will help you to
So
troubleshoot the issues. First
yeah,
thing.
yeah, that
Second
I know.
thing,
That I know.
few knowledge on cloud, any cloud, whether it is your
Mhm,
IBM or Google or Azure or
mhm,
GCP,
mhm,
anything that
mhm,
you need to have understanding on cloud.
mhm,
These things
mhm.
are required. Yeah,
Oh, that's fine then.
right. So as I told
And
you,
what?
even I told you here, if you remember, you're telling that you are late. So if you are getting application deployment and you started getting error, then what you have to do is you have to talk to the developer. You no need to
Mhm,
fix any code. You no need to try to fix even any of the code level bugging. No, just go back
mhm,
to the
mhm.
developer, bro. This is the error. Just fix it. This developer will be fixing it out. Your job is just to deploy the application, create the
Oh,
environment.
mhm.
That's it.
Okay.
Containerize the application. Yes, there is something. Once you are containerizing the application, then it's totally your responsibility to know how that particular type of application works. So that is the reason I'm saying that if you are working on PHP based application or Node or something PHP, so you need to know that already what exactly Apache is, how it works, how to fix the issue if we are getting on Apache, how to fix the issue if we are getting on Tomcat, right? How to
Mhm.
fix the issue if it's something kind of web server it is, right? So
Mhm.
configuration
So
level or
that is not a
that
big
is
deal. Like we have to install through Yum in a Red Hat, and
correct. Package
uh,
managers,
yeah, to
apt apt dpkg or something,
uh,
yum
uh,
or dnf or something like
mhm.
that. That is your
Correct, correct.
responsibility to make
Mhm.
sure your application is started
Mhm.
without any error or bugs. That is the main thing.
Yeah. So Linux administration, Unix administration, I'm fine with that. Cloud, I'm fine with that. But
Huh.
more granular knowledge, so like any specific tool or something, so that I have to take care.
Yeah, that you will have to take care, that you'll have to take care, because it is not possible for me to go and start teaching nginx what exactly nginx is, where it is storing file, how it is getting coming up and running, right? For like, tomcat, where it stores on log, what is tomcat, covering the tomcat part, that's not possible for me, right? So that will have to take care, that you need to know. And now while we are into industry, so we need to it's not a very big tool
Yeah,
that we cannot learn, or it will not be taking more than 2 3 days, I guess, right? 2 3 days is also I'm saying a more time duration, it's very less, very small thing. uh, you can do it, right? You need to
and
know
how
that troubleshooting.
how
Yeah.
many hours is required for this Docker and Kubernetes?
How many?
Actually, how many
Oh,
hours means how many
oh,
days
yeah, yeah. 30
Mhm.
to 40 days, where we will be doing a session 1.5 hour per day.
1.5 hours? Yeah,
Yeah.
during the weekday.
Weekends will be off. Weekends will be off, and sometimes if like we started running late or something, like
Mm,
is
yeah, that depends on the availability and the convenience.
correct, correct, correct. All the
Yeah.
people, yeah.
Yeah, true. And uh, make sure a recording will be available. Let's say, like if someone is not able to join, so he or she can be cover up through this.
These are obvious thing, right? These are obvious thing.
Yeah.
Recording will be definitely will be there, and it will be there for a year.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, fine. I think I'm good. So you can continue. And sorry if I interrupted.
No problem, no problem. Anybody else, guys, who's having any question queries, please ask me here. You can please ask me here if you're having any question queries.
Hi Anis.
Yeah, yeah, Devyang.
I have few questions, but once you're done with your session, then later point I'll ask you the question.
Definitely, definitely. So we will be
Okay.
doing this Q&A thing, and during end of the session, it should already, should be completed. But no worries. I'll be taking 5 to 10 minutes more, not more than that,
Okay.
to complete this session. So guys, what I was talking here is that let's say this let's discuss about this environment, right? Before before the Docker Kubernetes thing, right? So how your environment used to work. So we used to install our compilers directly on the machines, right? Let's say here, this version of compiler is running, I want to install one more compiler with different version, or one of the application I want to install here, that is based on nginx, or that is based on tomcat, while already having one server, one of the web server running in this machine. Can I install tomcat too, or can I install nginx here as well, right? We can, obviously, by tweaking or tricking something, we can do that by changing some of the configuration. But that is not the good idea to run multiple web server on a single machine, right? While it is your environment, that's really a very bad thing. It can create a lot of problems for you. If you want to run tomcat based application, what you have to do, you'll be just simply going and creating one more virtual machine instance on your environment to install tomcat or java in that, so that java based application can up and running, or node based application can up and running. So every time, every different technology, you need to get a different virtual machines, different servers. It used to increase the cost, but docker came into the existence, this problem is also resolved. It doesn't matter, one container is having apache php, or one is having tomcat java, one is having nginx node.js. It doesn't matter. Create containers, and within a single machine you can run these applications without disturbing to another application, or you no need to make any configuration changes. It's very smooth and simple thing, like plug and play, with different technologies running on the same machine with the docker resolved this issue. But how Docker is doing this, how it come possible? Uh, these applications are not disturbing to each other. They are independently running without any disturbance. So that part will be covered in another session, in upcoming session, guys. So we will be we will be doing more research. We'll be learning about that, what all components are available in Docker that is making these containers running independently without disturbing to each other. Yeah. So that is it for today's session. On next session, that what whenever we are planning, since here only we will be continuing the things. Yes, guys, that's it from my side for this demo session. And in Docker and Kubernetes, a lot of things needs to be discussed basically. So it's not possible to take them all here. So yeah. So let's start the question answer thing. Yes, Divyang, you can tell me what is the question that you want to ask.
So yeah, hi Anis. So actually, I
Yeah.
have a question regarding Docker and Kubernetes. So I'm in the DevOps and I'm working like for 7 years in the US itself, and
Okay.
I have worked on the multiple profiles like cloud admin, cloud infrastructure engineer, DevOps, build and release manager. But when it's come to the picture like Kubernetes, I have attended a few trainings to
Mm-hmm.
Kubernetes through YouTube
Mm-hmm.
and all. But
Uh-huh.
nowadays, when I'm attending the interviews, they are asking like, they are asking the questions like, do you have experience related to project? Like the videos and training that I have gone through, they are
Uh-huh.
explaining the same like the way you are explaining. So when it's
Uh-huh.
come to the real time side, how we can like, answer?
Okay, so real-time side, right? So
Yes.
the real-time side, as I told you at the beginning of the session only, whatever task that we are going to do to perform in our day-to-day activities in Docker Kubernetes thing, only those type of practicals, those type of questions, or the things we will be covering here are practically only. We are not having any project or application, but the task you can tell them during interview that I used to create YAML file. I used to create a particular kind of deployment. I used to manage them. I used to take care of RBAC. These days I'll tell you one more important thing, right? Whenever you are going in a company which is looking expert level of the candidate, what they are asking, they are not asking any single Kubernetes question. you know in Kubernetes interview, what is their question? I'll tell you. They are telling that what what challenges that you are facing in Kubernetes, working with Kubernetes. This kind of question they are asking. They're not asking what is Kubernetes, what is deployment, what are demons. They're simply going and they're simply asking simple question at the very beginning, where candidates is getting bombarded kind of thing. It's like he's gone. He will, if somebody is asking you what challenges that you face with Kubernetes in your day-to-day activity, what is the answer of this question? You know, what challenges I
Mhm.
faced? I never faced any challenges. I recently learned it and I'm interviewing it. These guys are asking me this kind of things, that how can I answer? So the simple thing is that you should answer. It is not like you're totally gone. This
Mhm.
question is simply saying that ball is in your hand. It is in your area. Now you can do the goal here. Okay, how? Simply say that. You know the challenges that I used to face in my environment, that Kubernetes cluster creation for particular type of application, and developer or my colleagues were like, I'm administering the cluster, but the problem that I faced is I'm having a team of people who is doing deployment, and they are coming back to me again and again saying that a resource quota or something, RBAC related issues, or somehow their deployments are not working, they are not able to troubleshoot. I'm just helping them to fix up the issues. That particular deployment is not having properly configured config map, or somehow the secret, or somehow they are missing wrong path of images sometimes in defined in the deployment. And people always in my team, they are missing up, setting up environment variable or required configuration of my deployment. So I'm guiding them, I'm troubleshooting it by my own, I'm fixing the issue. If it is related to developer side, I'm just reporting that issue to the developer team by creating tickets, or by pinging them, or by calling them, whatever method you are having, just describe them. this thing. So if this question you are getting means you can answer according to you, whatever that you like to. Got it?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Okay, makes sense.
yeah. But only you can answer this question, this kind of questions, only in a situation where you practiced well. If you didn't
Yeah.
practice well in Kubernetes, you just attended my training session and you are going there for interview, definitely you will be failing.
Hmm.
Definitely. And these days, because of recession kind of things, effect is still exist. Okay, it is still available in market. Is the issue. Less opportunities are there in market, and whatever opportunities coming into the market, those are crazy. Trust me. If you are a lucky one, then very high possibility you will be getting job very quickly. Okay, because of the effect of recession, these guys are asking, the companies are asking, you should export into from cloud to IAC to log monitoring to environment maintenance to cluster creation to deployment, each and everything they are asking. So my suggestion is like not to go for such stupid things, because if you are a beginner, then it will unnecessary you will be in trouble. Whatever thing that need to write properly in the resume, and if expectations are there in any requirement is much more, then think about it twice before attending those interviews, because this will be totally waste of time, I guess.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Got it. Thanks for explanation, Anis.
Anybody else, guys, we have who need suggestions or any question queries, please ask me here. And be active in the session, keep asking me questions if you're facing something deployment related error or the topic that I covered, you are not understanding, or some of the doubts that you are having. You can ask me anytime during the session or after the session, or paste your copy paste your questions on WhatsApp too.
Hi, Anish.
Yeah. Yes.
You, yeah, initial in the class you mentioned that CK and CKAD. So,
Yeah.
so could you please like elaborate like the administrative part is good or developer, or you gonna be teaching both? So
Okay. Developer or CKAD? CKA thing.
yeah, so we're gonna be learning administration or developer thing. Like which one is good and
Okay. See, as I
yeah.
told you, this is a mix up. Okay. It is. Yeah. I'm not focusing this training on any specific certification. Anyone. It's a mix up of both. Okay. Both got mixed up here. That's the reason this course got very lengthy. Um, so my suggestion, as I told you, I think one guy we were having who told me that he's having experience on cloud infra side, right? He's administering, or he's responsible architecting, right, to create the VMs and all. If you are having knowledge on the cloud, okay, already you are doing such kind of task, VPC creation, or like more and more cloud thing, then my suggestion is for CKA. If you are a developer, if you are from developer side, where your responsibility is just to deploy the application, generally you will not be deploying any application. If you are in a good company, if you are in a small company, they will be telling you to containerize your application. Okay. If you are developer or more focused on application side, you don't want to go into the mess of creation of environment and managing or administering the environment, then go for CKAD. It is the easy exam. And difficulty is increased obviously in CKA, because it is for a person who is responsible to cluster creation, complete environment management kind of thing. If you are doing CKA, your resume will be getting more worth. It will be more weightage it will be getting. So it's totally up to you which one you want to go for. And this exam, guys, this exam is not like just MCQs. It's not like that. You will be getting live clusters during the examination. They will be telling you, create a deployment with this name, with this configuration, in particular cluster. Or a question like one deployment is already running in a cluster, just go and fix up the issue. It is running with some of the issue. Just try to figure it out what is the issue and make sure your application or your deployment is up and running now. Such kind of questions will be there. It's practical exam. And the result will be declared after 24 hours. It's not like once you're ending the exam, will be getting result. No, after 24 hours, a result will be published. So you need to prepare a lot before going for examination. If you need some sample questions, that I can give it to you. Yeah.
Yep. That,
So that is it, guys, for today's session. I believe we might be starting from tomorrow, day after tomorrow. I'm not sure, or Monday. My team will be reaching it out to you for the update when we are continuing it. So keep updating, keep posting your contact details personally to Visualpath, Visualpath IT we are having here. So be in touch with them. They will be updating you soon.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Anish.
Okay, guys. Bye bye.
So
Bye, guys.
basically, like it's a 5 day class in a week, right? 5 days
Five
during the
days in a
week.
week, 1.5 hours.
Okay. And
Yeah,
what are the timings? Any idea?
8 to 9:30
8
a.m.
in the morning.
IST.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's the great. That's great. Okay. 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 Thanks.
Okay, guys. Bye bye.
Bye.